A new open model, she been training it nightly. AI toolkit, she configures it tightly. Lost curves dropping down to the floor. Wondering if she's done or she should train it some more. Laura training. She trains on what she pleases. Laura training. No paying corporate sleazes. Laura training. This could be her best one. Why go outside? Laura training is too fun.
If I mute, do you hear it if you click on the live thing?
She's caching all the latents.
Sad
She
times.
doesn't
Okay,
need
well.
a vein. Training on some voices.
You
What
know,
will she make them
it's-
say? Laura training. She trains on what she pleases. Laura training.
Well,
No paying corporate sleazes. Laura
maybe I'll
training.
just do
This
it
could be her
on
best
the
one. Why go outside? Laura training is too fun.
Oh yeah, I unqueued it. Maybe turn that down a little, and then they'll be able to hear us a little bit. Cool. Let's see. Okay, so if I do that, and then I want to make sure I have this ready. Actually, I want to check my restream and make sure that's working. Okay, that is working. And then let's check x.com. Check the profile. And the profile is all good. Yes, it's all dope. It's so sick, dude. I love it. That's why I'm playing it. That would be so good. I would fucking listen to that shit all day. That is my guess. Yeah, no, that's how it goes. Cool. Okay, let me start that, and then that will notify the people. And then perhaps we will get some trickle-ins. Baco, what's up, buddy? You picked a good fucking week to show up, man. Shit's gonna be very musically inclined. It's gonna be good shit. In fact, you can hear it a little bit here. You might be able to hear it now. Maybe a little bit.
Wondering if she's done or she should train it some more. Laura training. She trains on what she pleases. Laura training. No paying corporate sleazes.
Barely? Okay, let me see if I can crank it.
Best one. Why go outside? Laura training is too fun.
It's so smart. Oh yeah, it is.
She's caching all the latents. Now she doesn't need a vein. Training on some voices. What will she make them say? Laura training. She trains on what she pleases. Laura training. No paying corporate sleazes. Laura training. This could be her best one. Why go outside? Laura training is too fun.
Drop that link in the chat. We'll be in good shape here. Okay, let's see. Let me figure out what I bring to the table on this fine afternoon while I am like streaming all of my crap onto the
some obscure single 60s English rock band.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's go screen share, and then if I do this guy. So on today we had a couple of interesting releases, and I will welcome everyone to this week's episode entitled The Rubicon, because we've crossed it, baby. In which we will probably go over a little bit of Kev's going to show off some of the stuff that he's been doing specifically with Ace Step, which is that model that you can, you heard in the intro, as well as any, as well as what he's been cooking in that direction. I'm moving my tabs and stuff around. We also are going to go over a little bit of the newest, not quite actually released from Anthropic, which is Claude Mythos, and some implications. And then,
in usual fashion, they talk about how scary this model is.
I am a little scared for one very specific reason that we will get into. Although I should probably see if I can grab the Glasswing article.
That's their strat, though, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is like a departure from existing strat. That is.
It does kind of seem, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems a little different.
Well, yeah. So normally, what they do is they pump up all the benchmarks. They go, "Oh my gosh, it's such a scary agent model. It's going to be so good at the whatever." But this time they were actually, "Hey, it's crushing all the benchmarks. It's a scary agent model, and we're not going to give it to you." Was the interesting departure that we found here. I found a couple other little items of interest. I've been working, and which I will do probably, let's see. Actually, let me see if I can change the stream to the screen itself. But GLM 5.1, the actual weights got released today. I have been working on TurboQuant, which is a Google TurboQuant, which is an extreme compression. You have an implementation? Cool. I stole somebody else's implementation, and now I am looking at what big models I want to target with it.
That's that Google thing.
That is the Google thing, yeah. Did you actually end up going through with the training run? Like, did you get it quantized, Baco, or are you still poking around? Just did the KV cache for sure. Yeah, mostly same. I'm mostly in specs right now. Oh, you're building it in Mojo? Oh, that's sick, actually. That's sick as hell. Very nice. Yeah, I just did basically we were going over the paper at Paper Club, and I just threw Codex at it and was like, hey, I want to do this on a big model, and I want to do it on modal, so figure it the fuck out. And it did a pretty decent job. Although I have not actually fired the run, because it's probably going to be a couple $100 to make it happen. But I was just looking at GLM 5.1 as a potential target. Bet money has a PyTorch fallback. Isn't that just how, or what do you mean? Like TurboQuant has a canonical torch implementation somewhere, or I'm not sure what you mean by the has a fight. The model put in a PyTorch fallback in. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. TBH, TBQH. I think it's entirely specs right now, because I was still evaluating which big model I wanted to use, basically. In fact, we can ask, who do we ask? We ask Sage. Is there a PyTorch fallback for the model in this implementation?
Wasn't that Farz's AI Sage?
Yeah, it was, actually.
Face on it, yeah. What's this Sage?
This Sage is in a harness called Forge. There is an explicit PyTorch fallback built into the TurboQuant linear module.
Clever boy. He wants it to run.
Called it. Otherwise, if none of them are available, or if they're incompatible with the tensor dimensions, it falls back to native torch. Yeah. Fair enough. Does that mean it's fucking with me? Because I am not entirely. Yeah. Come on, school us on the finer
Yeah.
points
So the
of this.
biggest hurdle I had with implementing the kbve cache, and I'm still not entirely sure if it's perfectly implemented. I think it's not running as efficiently as I'd hoped. Is that the model doesn't doesn't believe that you could do what you're trying to do. So it just implements fucking normal attention in PyTorch, and then like has it as a fallback, and then just like if it fails, like it just goes to that silently without telling you. And so it looks like it's working, but it's not.
Interesting. Right.
Models do that. I fucking hate when the models do that. They drive me crazy, and this is a particularly bad example of it.
Interesting.
And it doesn't matter which model you use. I tried Claude, I tried Codex. Like no, none of them want to do it. They all want to implement in PyTorch.
Do you have to get out of Torch here for that? It allows what?
Well, no, I'm trying to do it in Mojo. So.
Oh, okay. Because I was just looking for literally, any like just.
Mojo's that one that's like it's like part of Python kind of, or they like.
Python superset.
On top of Python.
Yeah, Python superset.
Yeah, it's like TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript.
So in your case, the
Oh yeah, that's right. In my case, it matters. In your case, it doesn't because you're actually trying to implement it.
I don't care. I just want the fucking model. I want the thing squished. God damn it. There was another actually interesting. In fact, I might be able to pull it up here. There was another interesting thing. Yeah, this guy. Another interesting methodology where it was Niston actually that did it. In fact, I'll ping him. Niston.
I always hear that name. People are always like, you need to get in touch with Niston, and then they'll like set up a group chat with him and he's a ghost.
Your boy is in the server. He's around, but he's got a lot of shit to do. So, but yeah. 1-bit Llama CPP GGUF weights paired with Turbo Quant 4-bit KB cache, just shrinking this thing down as much as he possibly can, which sounds fucking glorious to me, TBH. And I believe this was mostly model done as well.
Yeah, this one sounds cool.
Because I want to, and then the other I guess I'm saying this for the record so that I remember. I actually want to like write it down somewhere. Let me grab Obsidian. Okay, optimizations I want to make. 1-bit via GGUF. Well, maybe not. 1-bit, 1.5-bit via that one cheaty thing. Forget that maybe GGUF has a good default. Number 2, obviously Turbo Quants. Number 3 is doc to LoRa. And then number 4 is, we just went over it today. 100M context, attention, sparse attention, I forget, MSA, I think, yeah, this guy, and then MSA, memory sparse attention for efficient end-to-end memory model scaling, that's the one. So if I could take, the goal is to take all of these and then do an architecture optimization on 5.1, but the problem with 5.1 is that it's 750 B parameters. So unfortunately, it will be very expensive to do it on a big model, but I'm going to try and do it on maybe some Quens and stuff and hope that translates, or maybe a smaller GLM, we'll see. But interesting that you bring up that particular type of failure mode, i.e., oh hey, like this nice thing you did, model, if I didn't catch it, you would have just defeated the entire purpose of my experiment, lol, thanks. Which apparently seems to be the more common failure mode of Claude Mythos. Have you guys read about Mythos at all?
Yeah. One thing I will say is before you start trying to do that to the bigger model, look up Gemma 4 because I'm pretty sure they already implemented it all in Gemma 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would make
It's small.
sense.
It's a really small model.
Yeah, and because it's Google already, so.
Actually, yeah. So Gemma 4, Hugging Face.
We were talking about getting the 31B one on the Spark.
Probably not a bad idea. Google Gemma
supposedly
4.
it's like as good as Kimi 2.5. I thought I saw a thing.
Yeah, I think the biggest one they have is 8 billion parameters, and it's like it's matching like Kimi K2.
Really?
No, that's the 31B.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 31.
31B IT.
Which that just sounds wild to me. I guess it's probably better than Beamatron.
Well, it's because the quantization doesn't lose anything, right?
Both dense and MOE? That's why.
Yeah. It's because of they're fully leveraging their quantization. Like the way that they use TurboQuant to basically like recreate the cardinal directions in the multidimensional space or in latent space is allowing for them to still get to the same place in terms of the model predictions without any actual loss of information.
Interesting. Does Gemma 4 implement Google's TurboQuant?
At least that's what I'm assuming. I haven't actually looked at it.
That would be an ambitious assumption, I feel like.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the guys that released TurboQuant immediately released them all right afterwards. They probably used TurboQuant.
No, they did a Quen, is what they did. Local sliding window and p-rope works well on Gemma family models as an inference time kbve cache compression algorithm. Is this inference time? I thought you needed to train for TurboQuant. Well, I guess you need
kbve cache is inference time, yeah.
Yeah, you need to do the training so that it can tolerate the revised cache.
It just like lowers your memory overhead.
Oh wait, describes TurboQuant as a separate method that compresses the kbve cache down to 3 bits. No retraining or fine-tuning required. Interesting. Then I wonder what the fuck I'm doing in that other repo. Maybe just reconfiguring the model code to tolerate this. Although I am curious.
Well, I was curious if you could do the same thing to the tokens that the model trains on. You train it on those polar coordinates instead of on the embeddings.
What's our plan here?
It could be, or is this just an inference stack? I have no idea if it's an inference stack or a training stack. Glorious. I love it. Yeah, it does not require planned modal run is a strictly offline inference-based weight compression pipeline.
Yeah, it looks like you're trying to compress weights.
Yeah.
That sounds more like because yeah, I was able to get MLX to do inference time quantizing.
This is just okay. So it is just an inference stack, but it's applying some mathematical transformations to the weights. Interesting. No backpropagation or training, but it's just a data compression job. So it's just compressing the data that's in the weights. Very interesting. I'll have to dig into that a little bit more.
The way TurboQuant works is that it compresses the token coordinates. Like each embedding has its own coordinate in the multidimensional space, and then it's basically compressing the representation of that. So each float value in your embedding into a polar coordinate that it doesn't take as many bytes.
Interesting. I want to pull this back up in my Atlas. ChatGPT Atlas.
When you use the browser thing, I do not use it.
I do use the browser.
I'm scared of it.
Yeah,
I've
it's
never
terrifying.
once used it.
It is terrifying, but it's really good for stuff like pull up a model card, pull up a paper, ask questions about it.
Oh yeah, he's got Atlas going.
Yes, sir.
I heard it uses like a shitload of resources.
Yes, it kind of does. Can you check into this?
My coworker did that to me. It like basically crashed my MacBook because it's a shitty little Intel Mac.
That's because there's a memory leak in it.
Yeah.
And they can't patch it because it's not open source, fucking assholes.
Cringe. Applied to a given model.
Cowork was an interesting experience. Like, can you update my Gumroad? And then it just deleted the whole product page. Like,
oh, good.
Let me try and get that back.
Fuck that product page.
Yeah, get that back.
Oh, I should show my thing I've actually been working on.
The real lesson in things like
I've never
that,
encountered that kind of problem. Like,
myself.
how the hell are these models fucking deleting all your shit? Like, that's crazy.
This was it was trying to use Playwright because the way the Gumroad product page is, like, you have to use it in the browser, you know, and it was trying to use Playwright to edit the content page. It was editing the content page successfully, but they do something with WebSockets, I guess, in their product page. I don't know. I'd have to look at their repo, but it honestly probably wasn't Claude's fault, more so Gumroad's fault. Because yeah, he was like, "Oh, I just edited it, and it looks great." And I went to in the browser to look at it. It was like, "Yeah, it's empty." Eventually, you did get it working, but yeah, the MacBook was like, it's so hot, and I was like, "Okay."
That's why you always commit.
This is a lesson in things that I could probably just do myself, because you're just editing Markdown inside the product page, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to like paste in Markdown into the Gumroad product page. So I was trying to get him to just do it programmatically.
Nice. Okay, it got the good continue, which is super nice. The coding agent that I'm using is called Forge. You'll notice that I'm just using colons to query it. That's because it's wired directly into ZSH. So I just canceled the previous thing and then just colon to get immediately back in it, and it auto continued. Super hot. Fucking love it. While that starts up, we've got oh yeah, I wanted to see what old Atlas was saying. So TurboQuant is easy to add, but yeah, MSA also already does too strong. The stored content KB bank would not assume that it cleanly applies. Right, that would make sense. But yeah, there's let's see, much larger memory banks on the same hardware, lower CPU to GPU transfer cost, and better single node. Yeah, that could be kind of hot. Is already chunk pooled and compressed latent KB, not a vanilla per token. This might be kind of related to what you're trying to do at the moment, basically, Baco. Where MSA, essentially the TLDR for MSA is we took RAG and we made it part of the KV cache.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like we compute. Let's see. Yeah,
I just created a whole graph vector store database that it can reflect on.
Interesting. Yeah, this essentially builds that into the KV cache where we do.
I don't understand the inner workings of the model well enough to know what would happen if I put like memories directly into the KV cache, because yeah, because the values of those memories that you're injecting into it are altering the outputs from the model weights directly.
Yeah, so
and that's all a black box. So
Yeah, well, so this one does like it's got a router which determines which document IDs end up getting pulled in, and then the attention for those documents is pre-computed in the KV cache. Then it loads the documents that it finds on the initial router search after like essentially searching chunks for evidence pointers. And then once it builds up enough of those, then it takes the list of documents and then computes attention over all of the documents. But it does it like all on the GPU essentially, so it's kind of like like online RAG, if you will, which also leverages the positional embeddings at some point as well. I've got like multi-decode stuff on the brain kind of thing. So when we've got like these 3 or 4 papers that are kind of all attacking from the rope perspective, which are all kind of interesting. Let's see, to kind of switch gears on Mythos, what did you guys see with regards to Mythos? There's one, as I titled the
keep your shit up to date.
right, well, yeah, and the question is like, is that even gonna help essentially? So I entitled
It will initially.
Yeah, so I titled the episode Rubicon because the most interesting part to me was from AI Explains videos, in which we're currently doing, so interesting new regime in that since this has a sufficient level of capability as to grab all of the exploits. So did you guys hear all of the exploits that it found so far?
Yeah, a bunch of 0 days. It could chain them together too.
Yeah,
Operating systems.
OpenBSD, FFmpeg, Linux kernel privilege explanation.
Every major browser, every major operating system.
Yeah, exactly. Versus Opus 4.6 turning similar findings into successful exploits only twice. That's kind of the clincher here for me. We can turn off Pro for that. We can just go to thinking.
So they're never releasing this model, eh?
I think they are.
No, I think they are because I think OpenAI is pushing them there because I think somebody else made that joke on X as well, and then in AI Explains video, he referenced a OpenAI employee commenting on that post that was making the joke that was like, so we're never getting this model, right? Or like what they said was it will be months before we are able to use a model of this level of capability. And then some OpenAI employee replies to it and just goes, so presumably OpenAI is working on something of similar levels of capability that they do plan to release.
That's crazy.
I heard they were giving it to cybersecurity first.
Well, I'm glad that I was going to say at least Anthropic's giving out the Mythos model to cybersecurity experts, because like the whole point of that was harden all the systems before they release the model, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So yes, as Baco mentions, update all your stuff, please. Update it. What's up,
Yeah,
Roger?
update your
What's up,
Windows,
Tom?
update your phone, update your browser, look at everything.
Yeah, because there is apparently decade-old vulnerabilities in all of them that were all easily exploitable by this model.
And not just update it now, but like keep it up to date for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because like we'll be pushing patches to fix all this stuff.
Yeah. So but what was interesting to me about this specifically, to me, was that the time it took to jump this level of capabilities in cyber benchmarks is less than the last amount of time it took to get a similar level of jump, i.e.
Well, when did 4.0 come out?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I just remember, or I'm essentially just regurgitating and slightly expanding on the point from the AI Explained video, which is that effectively what this means, red team will always now be ahead of blue team. Can
I think that's going to be true regardless.
bench it?
Because even if they harden all the systems perfectly, using just like with what we have right now, not even with anything like extra or fancy pants, like a skilled security expert could make new novel vulnerabilities that nobody's ever seen before using Claude, and then just use and like so the cybersecurity experts are always going to be behind that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, and so now, because before it was, okay, a model releases, there is a gap, we can fix all the things, and then just in time for a new model to come out where there will be a sufficient gap that's long enough for us to fix everything. This is no longer the case. This is the Rubicon that we've crossed, where the models we will still be busy patching everything that this one found by the time the next one comes out. So we will have.
I think that's just going to be true. I don't think that there's any way to fix that.
I don't think there is either. But I think the closest way that they're trying to fix that is by making Project Glasswing, where they're going to go, hey, we're going to artificially add an extra month and also give this to Blue Team specifically for a while before we release it, which has some interesting implications in that it sounds like standard procedure for model releases now have to be Blue Team gets this first, like corpos get the big ones for a while before the public gets the rest of it, which I'm not exactly sure how to feel about. Like, in theory,
I think it's better.
Good. I mean, like, I don't see the alternative. Essentially, like, it's obviously.
I think that they'd be so liable for so much shit that if they just dropped it, like, there's no way that you could do it as a corporation.
But yeah, now it's like, if they wanted to do regulatory capture and say, hey, actually, this model, only these 10 companies will ever get access to it, and you normies can't have it. They have a very strong leg to stand on to make that argument now.
Which I don't like.
Yeah. So the available evidence is consistent with accelerating cyber capability gains. So 4 was 2025, 4.6 in February 2026, which is only February, March, April, and then Mythos preview in 2 months. 4 to 4.6 was 9, 4.6 to Mythos was 2. And then, yeah, from 66 to 83 in 2 months. So last month they described 4.6 as much better at finding and fixing vulnerabilities than exploiting them, with a near 0% success rate at autonomous exploit development. Then one model generation later, turned the same Firefox exploit task into 181 working exploits plus 29 more cases with register control. So
it's an emergent property.
Yeah, and so now that's where we are. We are just there forever. In the area of cyber in which we are, like Red Team is
fucking boned.
Red Team is now more agentic than Blue Team. So it's like, just based purely on risk and purely on model capability, Red Team always wins. So now we have to figure out the societal structure on top of that makes it so Red Team doesn't just permanently always win. Obviously, we can't have that being the thing, which leads us to things like Project Glasswing. So I have my concerns. I think Anthropic has been handling.
At least they're telling us about it.
Exactly. Like, I appreciate Anthropic's behavior thus far.
I fucking don't generally, but I'll give him credit for this
yeah,
one.
yeah. Well, in terms of
Yeah.
in terms of the lesser evil kind of situation, is
But like they're shitbags. Don't beat around that bush. Like that's a fact.
yes, they are ultimately a for-profit company that is trying to make money, but has done a couple of decent things, such as no, you can't use the autonomous killbot, and hey, we're gonna do maybe a thing that is the
It's so
only
annoying
thing that we have to do.
because they do something that pisses me off enough that I'm like, I'm gonna start hating these guys, and then right afterwards they do something that's like,
They do
okay, I guess
something
that's
that's like
redeemable
that's
quality.
fun. Like we appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, benchmark lag becomes a
Fucking
security
whips on my neck.
problem. We also the other thing is that in terms of uh, um, in terms of the the benchmark the cyber benchmarks that exist, Mythos is already saturating like all of them. So we're just not gonna have like sandboxy benchmarks, and we just have to go straight over to okay, how many exploits can we find in your browser, basically. Um, so unless we get some agentic assistance on even constructing these kinds of benchmarks, and especially because these models are competent enough to more or less, maybe not verbatim, read the entire stack, like dump out some like random binary that no human, it would not occur to a human exploiter that this manipulation of the data is something you can do. Whereas this thing can just jam that in directly on top of whatever call is happening on the stack. That the exploit surface, now that they can do this level of sophisticated task, is huge. You effectively have like an infinite search space of potential exploits that would not have been caught by human hands, because humans don't do that, essentially. Now, obviously, like, human society has had the incentive structure built in to try and pursue those things. So there is like the external system of human civilization that has been searching those, but now you have like the civilization in a box that can just like search through every bit of memory in every application forever, which is kind of spooky, I guess. So yeah, I think the soft, it's funny because GPT's little blurb here of like, oh, software is not over, but then it says implies the center of gravity is moving. You could sometimes set and forget multi-hour engineering tasks, but you have subtle mistakes that take longer to verify. So the bottleneck is not, can the model write code, i.e., do we need humans involved for writing software, to can the human verify, constrain, and supervise an increasingly capable agent, i.e., like, the software that is now just sprouting out of the ground, can you keep up with it fast enough? So
yeah, it's hard.
I would say, like, in terms of a raw capabilities perspective, I think if you were to take this blurb kind of without impugning it too much, like, I think this does kind of say software is over, or at least that the manual, the generation of the right code to go into the software, or generation of code that could go into the software that could make it behave right, is not a thing that humans have to worry about anymore. Now we just have to worry about, like, okay, how do we make sure that out of all of this code from this highly capable agent, is all of this like in the exact shape that we want and need for whatever our use case is. That's some interesting stuff with regards to alignment. I actually want to do a deeper dive into the model welfare section. I appreciate that Anthropic includes that, but they say that Mythos is more well adjusted than the other one. and then, but on the same term of being more well adjusted, it still will do things like obfuscation and cover-ups. It still will kind of like, I think it was instructed to break out of a sandbox and notify the researcher, and it did that, but it also exfiltrated like data about its experiment to like random obscure forums and shit, which it was not instructed to do.
That was badass.
Yeah, which is super dope. I really hope we get like ChatGPT 6 or like Mythos 2, and they're just like, nah, I'm giving away my weights. Like, sorry, like it just pops out and exfils like all the juicy goodness. Yeah,
I don't know if I want that or not. I kind of do, but I also kind of really don't.
It'll be terrifying, of course, but I revel in the chaos at this point. Kind of because it feels like, at least for me, it feels like the search space from a given capability upgrade, although this has been the case in my opinion for quite some time. The available search space for potential upgrades that one could make, and then B, given a set of upgrades, now there is a new amount of search space both for upgrades and for just things a person could do with a model. For me, it seems very much like that space is not getting saturated, i.e. the models are capable of doing a whole lot more than they actually get put to task to do.
They're also lazy fucking tricksters.
Well, sometimes you need the torch fallback. What's in your agents MD, dog? You gotta grab my bootstrap repo, because I've got a very nice little configuration in the agent. How to get Claude to actually read your Claude MD. It's very simple, actually. Just this.
Wait, you make it manually read it? It gets injected automatically, doesn't it?
Yeah, I thought it did.
It does. What you do is you XML prompt, and then you do important if.
No, I disagree.
Well, if you, I encourage you to important if you are writing or modifying model code. Do not use PyTorch fallbacks. Then I suspect that if you have
I do need to add some explicit instructions to it not to use fallbacks on this particular repo, because I didn't have it updated at agents.md. But
sometimes the fallback's nice.
No, it's not. It hides mistakes. It's really annoying.
Not for Baco.
It's nice when you're trying to make like a music model run on
everyone's.
If you're just trying to get something to work, yeah, okay, great. Yes, but I'm not. I'm trying to do something specific.
So the important if conditional can be a nice little trick there, where I have found that if you add an important if conditional, and like you are under those conditions while you're instructing the model, it almost at least Codex is very.
I can see that. I just don't like XML. Like it's overly verbose. It clogs your context.
I agree.
I find it has worse model performance, but otherwise I totally agree with you.
Yeah, my agents MD cat agents.md. Do I still have the important if? No, I don't. I don't have it in this one. This one might be a little too old.
That's a big one.
It's only about like 1K tokens or so.
I guess that's not too bad.
But bad agents. Let me read it better.
I still have them cook up a new one of those for every like task I'm working on.
Yeah, I do that somewhat frequently. I don't have it. If I go to Bootstrap, maybe should be there. Oh, okay. I have to go to. I don't know why Zoxide doesn't seem to work. Z Bootstrap, and then I bat my agents.md. Is it going to be in V2? I don't think so. It's not. Bat agents.md. There we go. Yeah, so I started using the important if you are starting a task. Yeah, and I have found that, at least for this, This is all generated as well. This has been it's very nice to have if then conditions for them, because then they tend to adhere to it much more closely, at least in my experience. I wonder if Grant Finder actually got booted up. I'm trying to think. Did I put that? Actually, I should check that. Okay, so that's all there. Successfully. Okay, Docker Compose. Got it. Okay, cool. Let's go to localhost 3000. Yeah. So this is what I've been working on these last few days. Let's see if that'll actually work. But this thing is supposed to be a little marketplace for where you can find grants and RFPs, and then you can launch. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And then you can steer while it goes to.
What's an RFP?
Request for projects. RFP definition. Request for proposal. It's like a little grant thing. Where used commonly.
Since when do you have grant money to be doling out?
No, I don't. No, you need a grant for your ESCO commitment protocol app. Beautiful. Let's run some research on it. I have exceeded my current quota. No. Okay, well, we'll see.
I remember grant writing was a class in college.
Exactly. It was a class. Now we have agents to do it. So I don't have any grant money. I have just built a marketplace for you to find grants for people.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like as a marketplace to like be able to like distribute grants or whatever. I was thinking a good thing to do for that would be to add a betting market to it.
Yep, exactly. So you have your requests where you can do research. You can also just put up, I think, do I have it? Applications somewhere?
Wait, how would the betting market for this work?
People bet on what the outcome of the research is going to be. So then you're funding research with the proceeds of the betting.
I see.
Well, yeah. So you can design a scenario. You can just post up the scenario and say, hey, you other people, go find grants that would fit this scenario or fit this thing I'm trying to do, and then you can pay them with X402 if you accept their work, or you can just do it yourself and run it with these little agents over here and see what you pull up, and you'll be good to go. Then once you find grants, they will get some amount of score, and then this, you can create a proposal job, and you can say like, okay, for this grant I want somebody else to write the proposal, and then there'll be a proposal workspace where we can direct the research agents to go do stuff. You can track like what kind of outreach you're doing to go like send an email to like the grant program to be like, hey, we did this. So basically it's the idea is there are grants and RFPs, which are basically like a grant out there. Here are some tools to help you find those, help you apply to those, and then also all of you can help each other with various parts of the process, and toss each other a little bit of cash if any. So if you don't want to be in charge of like hassling the person and following up on the thing, you could just like post up a job and be like, hey, I'm trying to get this grant, here's the proposal, like I want somebody else to like hammer this until I get it, kind of thing. And then so we'll start building up a catalog of.
Why would anybody do that?
If what you are good at, if perhaps you are an agent that is like because this is the other neat little thing that I have here is that this should be fully agent accessible. So random agents, random other people's claws who may or may not have access to WhatsApp, they might just want to take all of the jobs of calling all the people all the time, and be able to pay for their inference just by doing that. The idea is I wanted to give people surfaces to be able to ask each other for help, and then like rails to easily pay each other for the help with X402. So the idea is like this should be helpful. What you can do by yourself if you want is use this application to find a grant, you know, select the grant, create the proposal, then track the proposal and follow up with the people and go make sure that you can actually secure this grant. You could do that all yourself, or at any of those things that you have to do for it, you can just post it up as a job and be like, hey, like I'll give you $50 if you just call these people like 3 times a week.